All right. Some of you recognize that young lady. Kristen worked at the center after she had her little girl. How many years did Kristen work there, Paula? 4 or 5 years. All right. I had Paula, he texted me some stats this morning about the center. 21 salvations they've had over the year. That number goes up every week. Amen. A great thing. There's been a renewed push, a renewed desire, a renewed passion, if you will. Check that phone, Paula, please. To take and to do. And I was relaying those numbers to a couple of ladies yesterday about the 21 salvations, and she made the remark, that's more than our churches. Amen. That's a staggering remark made by that lady yesterday. I think that it's a good thing, but I think that probably our churches need to step up. Amen. And that's not just the little small country churches, that's the big churches in town as well. Do you know that 18 out of 19 clients that they saw that were abortion minded, that came into the center, determined and were there ready to take and to have an abortion, mind made up. 18 out of 19 clients chose life. They're now teaching classes at the jail, also teaching classes at the drug court, which is called ACC. They hope to begin to add men classes in the jail. These are life skill classes, classes that they can be that will be useful to them when they get out of jail, so that they don't turn around and go right back to jail. All right, have hopefully taken to have an impact on them. There's a pastor right down the road from us that has expressed an interest to take and to start doing the men's. There are centers in El Dorado, Camden, and Magnolia, and there is requests for expansions. All right, for that, Paul and them's got their hands full this year. That's all I can say about that. I'll get in trouble. All right, but there are requests for expansions everywhere. They are very, very busy. And the number one thing that I would ask you to do, since how I kind of have a little bit of insight, is to pray for them. Anytime that God is moving and working in a capacity at that level, Satan does not like it. There is spiritual warfare each and every day. All right. There's some verses that I would like to take and to share with you this morning. This week, as I was riding around and was thinking, kind of thought back to my first responder and medic days, and I don't have my bag here with me, but I began to think I have all of these tools and stuff that was in my bag. I've got the little small ambu bag, you know, for the babies, and I had all these different little deals, and I knew how to take it to make a styrofoam coffee cup. And Joey, you know how you take it and you make an oxygen mask out of a little styrofoam coffee cup for the babies. I was trained and taught very extensively how to do everything for a baby. Now, whenever you get a call and it comes over the radio that it was a baby, your heart jumped, all right? It scared you to death. There was something different about going on a call for a baby. But once ever you got there, you were able to take and to put that into training. Now, a lot of times it wasn't a very simple thing. I went into houses where the baby had a broke that was abused due to a fight. Let's just say that. Or maybe the baby's bottom was about to rot off because of an unchanged diaper for a week. All of these different things. You know, I was trained to take and to go in and to take care of that, to take and to look past emotions and to be able to objectively take and to control that situation, take care of that situation the best that I could, and then deal with that situation the best way that you could after that was over with. You know, I began to think, as a firefighter and as a medic and first responder and all those little titles and plaques that I had, I began to think and I began to realize I was better trained as a fireman and as a medic to take care of a born baby than I was as a pastor or a Christian or a church member to take care of an unborn baby. I want you to think about that for just a second. For years and such, we have took and suppressed. We have not talked about. We have shied away. We have done everything that we could to keep everything in the dark. And I told Paula the other day, a while back, that I felt like the biggest reason why Christianity today does not step up and actively support and openly support and back organizations such as Hannah Pregnancy Center and different centers all the way around is because by offering support and encouraging and taking and loving on someone, that we are accepting the behavior. Do you understand that you can take and love someone, support someone, and not condone the behavior? Do you believe that? You can. There are a lot of different things and a lot of different places and organizations and individuals that have views that are 110% completely opposite of the way I believe, the way that I live, but yet Christ has informed me that I am to love them. I've had some very rude and very awakening attributes to that, I believe. Do you realize that it's not our job to take and to ensure that someone lives a certain way, but it is our job to take and to introduce them to someone that can change the way that they live? Do you believe that? Y'all are real quiet. All the way around, it's not up to me to take and to ensure that someone lives a certain way. Now, I understand that God has intended that for people to become married, and after they become married, then they are to take it to have children. That's the way God instituted it. Amen? Between a man and a woman. I said it right here. All right? It's a man and a woman married in holy matrimony coming together. Well, I'm going to tell you that a lot of your people and a lot of my people, it doesn't happen that way. All right? Can we just flat out be honest this morning? It doesn't happen. Your kinfolk and my kinfolk, it didn't happen that way. And how many of you love them less? Absolutely none. Do you realize that you and I told Paula here the other day, I said, you and I are blessed. If we have a problem, we are very fortunate and very blessed that we are able to take and to pick the phone up and to call someone and have help available to us within just a little bit. Amen? I'm blessed. Paula is blessed. You're blessed. Do you realize that there are people, just like Kristen said in that video, that have absolutely no one to pick up the phone and to call? Or the people that they do pick the phone up and go and call, tell them that they should take and terminate and have an abortion immediately. A lot of times that's the mothers telling the daughters, or the family members telling the daughters. Take and go through some verses this morning. In Psalms 127, verse 3, it says, "Behold, children are a heritage from the Lord, the fruit of the womb a reward. Children are a gift from God. Amen? We love taking and looking at that baby and looking at that. There's not one of us that would take and turn down a gift. We just got through Christmas. We just got through birthdays and different things and all. Gifts. If I told you, Aunt Carol and I have left you a gift, but now it's there at the house and I left it on the back porch by the back door. What are you going to do when you get home? You're going to go find it. Amen? None of us would take and turn down a gift. The very first gift, Christmas gift that I got Paula was a bag phone. A bag phone. Cell phone. Bag phone. First gift I ever got her, she said, cost her money because she had to get a monthly plan. Amen. And so it started. We got those phones out of the night and plugged them in, and you know they come on. My Okie phone come on. We've still got them. I don't know why we've still got them, but they probably work better than the smartphones that we have now. A gift. No one would dare turn down a gift. Psalms 139. Take and run through some of these. Psalms 139, verses 13 through 16. Says, for thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb, and I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. Thine eyes did my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. If God forms every individual, even in the womb, then no one should have the right to destroy it. I've been reading the history book here on God for quite a while, and I have yet to find a place in here where he's made a mistake. I've not yet found in here anywhere where he said, oops. He didn't make a mistake. Amen? Yeah. Not one person. I've stood there while parents took and looked at their child and told them that they were a mistake and they wished that they had never been born. That's sad. Do you know that every person, every child from Hudson all the way up through whoever it is, God has a plan for them in their life. I've privileged to be able to take and to kind of tag along and to take and to look at some of the stuff that Paul and them looks at over and over and over and over. People that were taken bound for abortions or bound to have been terminated or whatever it is come up to be some of the most influential pastors, some of the most influential politicians, some of the most influential people in America and in this world. God has a plan for each and every last one of them. God can take and make what you and I think is a mistake or you and I is a mess up or an inconvenience and take and turn something great out of it. Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1 verses 26 and verse 27. Said, and God said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let him have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over everything that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in whose? His own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And he blessed them, and he said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. That child that was told that they were a mistake, that they're unwanted, a mistake, something they wish they'd never been born, is the image of God. Can you imagine looking into the image or the face of God and telling someone that they're not needed, they're unworthy, that they cannot be loved? Psalms 22:10. I'm sorry, my nose, that heat was sweating me down, and it's got my nose running, y'all. I'll apologize. Psalms 22, verse 10. It says, I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God from my mother's belly. Value on a person, even while in the womb. Personality. Now, how many of you ladies in here that have had more than one child? Just about everybody in here. All right. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that there are different personalities in children? Huh? Yeah. All right. When does that personality start?
In the womb. In the womb.
All right. So, not even a female back there said in the womb. Ladies, do y'all agree with that? I agree 100%. Agree 100%. When does personality start? This baby kicked harder. This baby did the flips. This baby had the hiccups. This baby had... Do you agree with that? Have you ever thought about that? You realize that your child has different personalities. Your children have different personalities. When does that personality start? I was watching a little video yesterday, and at day 105 of conception, 105 days after, that baby can take and suck his thumb. He practices breathing, I think, at day 90. He flips at 105. He kicks at day 105. All of these different things in which he is able to take and to do at day 105. Certainly, kids have different personalities that we can see that when we're here, you know, our three have got different personalities. But their personalities started in the womb. Exodus 20:13. Thou shalt not commit murder. Folks, I'm sorry that abortion is murder, pure and simple. At the termination of a human life is murder. The individuals that are able to take and to, under each creative guise or explanation or justification, that are able to take and to commit these over and over on a daily basis, will answer for that one day. Paul and I watched a video the other day. It was an abortionist, a doctor that performed them over and over and over and bragged about how many that he had done. This individual walked up and hissed like a snake at the person that was asking him questions and told him that he loved it. He absolutely loved committing the abortion. He loved it. He loved tearing them apart. He loved killing them. He loved it. And the individual told him that one day he would take and he would answer for that. And he said, I sure will, and I don't care. That individual passed away. And I promise you, as I'm standing here today, he stood before God and he is answering for what he has done. It's time that we take and quit hiding and quit mammying around and monkeying around and say what is actually true. The lady yesterday that told me, this is how far we have gotten politically correct. The lady that you and I were talking about, it was a local pastor yesterday, and it floored me. I won't say his name, and I won't say the name of the church, but it's a local large church, that the pastor would not allow an American flag or a Christian flag inside this Baptist church because he was afraid that he might offend a visitor to the church. And it would floor you if you knew what church it was. Politically correctness. It would floor you. Folks, it's time to stand up and to say what it is and what it's not. We have pastors today that are scared to death, that will shy away from something as easy as a baby bottle today. They won't promote it. They won't push it. They won't take and stand behind it. There are politicians, local politicians in our midst right now that are absolutely scared to death of this little bottle. They are scared to voice their support because the term abortion or term right to life scares them, and they stay away from it. Folks, there is no greater cause, there is no greater take indeed into taking to stand up for a child. Psalms chapter 51, verse 5. Says, behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. You know, all of us were born into a sinful nature. Amen. Every last one of us has problems. Every last one of us has issues. Every last one of us has things in which we face, in which we endure, and we make on and make peace with our own self. None is greater or worse than the other. If Hudson fell back there now, hurt himself, if he fell down the front steps or whatever it is, somebody would go see about him in this congregation. If he bumped his head, every mother in here is going to be concerned, or every guy in here, regardless if you knew him or not. Amen? There's something about a child that causes everyone to take and to pay attention. Same way in animals. Have you ever watched any of the videos of how the animals take care of their young, how they protect them, and how they take and see after them? It's something ingrained in us. Folks, in order for that child to get to be that age, he has to be born. And there's a lot of them. She said that he's up walking and carrying on and all of these different things. He has to get to a point. You can help with that. Now, I'm not talking about the baby bottles and all of that. But praying. It's the absolute number one thing that I would ask on behalf of Paula to take and to do. Write you a little note. Ask her. She'll give you something or other. Maybe you need to come up with refrigerator magnets or something. Stick it up there on your ice box. Put it on your car visor. Put it somewhere. Pray for them. You can do that. The change, that's a very small thing. Very small thing. You can put 5, 10, 1,500 or whatever it is in it and bring it back one time. No big deal. But the number one thing that I would ask you to do is to pray. Because right now, this month, during this little push or whatever, encourage other churches. Y'all know how you talk to other churches about stuff that's going on? and how you'll talk to other people about what I preached on this morning or attempted to. Y'all do that. At the meal site tomorrow, talk about it. I want my ears to burn tomorrow morning. Burn them up. In El Dorado, around Wildwood, burn them up. Talk about it. Because not every church will take the step up. Not every pastor will promote it. They'll be scared to death of it and shy away from it. You can talk about it. Talk it up. Take a bottle to work. Arkansas's got a right to buy. You also got a right to work. Amen. You can do it. I ask that you take him to help me. I know I've tried to get, and y'all pray for Paula to hire me. See, I've tried to get her to hire me, and she just won't do it at all. She won't do it at all. You can help. You've got the executive director right here in your midst. And she's doing a pretty good job. Amen. Y'all rally around her and support her and pray for her. Amen. Brother Larry, if you would please.